with you. Anyway, NC State shot 9 of 54 from the field today. How disgusting. 2 of 28 from three-point land for 7%. 4 of 6 at the free throw line for 66.7%. Didn't do squat. 9 of 54 from the field, that only equals 16.7%. Braxton Beverly, Mr. Three-baller, went over 12 from the field and missed 9 three-pointers today. In the first half, NC State, 6 of 31 for 19.4%. And then Kevin Key said it couldn't get any worse. It did. 3 of 23. That's only 13% in the second half. As a matter of fact, this was the worst shooting performance in the history of the ACC. 16.7% is the lowest in ACC history. And the conference was founded in 1953. And it's the lowest point total by any ranked team in the history of the shot clock era. And the shot clock era started back in the 85-86 season. This goes way back over 3 decades. I have never seen a performance so bad. Now, Virginia Tech, Kerry Blackshear Jr., 13 points, 13 rebounds, a double-double, hee-haw. But Virginia Tech didn't shoot much better either. 6 of 13 at the free throw line for 61.5%. 7 of 21 for three-point land for 33.3%. And they only shot 36% from the field for the game. They only went 16 of 45. I have decided for this game, as a result of the bad performance from NC State and the not too impressive performance from Virginia Tech, this game will not have a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. No awards for this. No awards for this nightmare. I'm sorry, but I have never seen a bad performance out of NC State like I saw today. 24 points for the game. That is ridiculous. I have never seen a team look so bad. And this is the ACC. This is supposed to be the powerhouse conference of college basketball. NC State could kiss their any chances of an ACC title goodbye after a bad performance like this today. That's all I can say. NC State looked bad. Virginia Tech, they weren't much better either. But still, the 9 of 54 for 16.7%, that's what's going to stick out to me. And NC State coach Kevin Keatts really needs to consider taking a course in Bobby Knight Cussatology 101. He should have went right into that locker room, screamed like Bob Knight, dropped the F-bomb after a bad performance like that. That's what I would have done. And excuse me for being old-fashioned, but sometimes you have to drop the F-bomb and the SH-bomb to get through to some of these people. That's how it is. That's how Bobby Knight was, and I think that's what Bobby Knight... Some of these schools could take a lesson out of Bobby Knight's playbook or Gene Katie's playbook. Because I'm telling you, the Virginia Tech output today was just awful. It was a nightmare, and they should be ashamed of themselves for the way they played. And that's all there is to it, and that's all I have to say about it. All right, now, enough of NC State and the nightmare they had today. Let's move on. Number 9 North Carolina beat number 15 Louisville today, 79-69. What a game this was. This is a back-and-forth game. North Carolina coach Roy Williams said after the game, North Carolina got our revenge. We did to them what they did to us a couple of weeks ago when they humiliated us 103-82 in our building. We got the job done. They dominated the game. North Carolina dominated the game in the paint, 38-26. Offensive rebounds, North Carolina dominated Louisville 18-7. And on second chance points, 18-3, there's not much more you can do about it. Louisville coach Chris Mack said, I am very disappointed with our performance. We couldn't get the job done. And at one point in the ball game, Louisville missed 10 of 11 shots during a stretch in the first half. That's what may have killed them right there. But let's think about this for the game. North Carolina and Louisville were very close from the field. Louisville was 26-62 for 41.9%. North Carolina 29-69 for 42%. Now Louisville looked pretty good from beyond the arc, 10 of 29 for 34.5%. Kentucky, North Carolina, they got to stop living by the three. 6 of 24 for 25%. That was it. At the free throw line for North Carolina, they went 15 of 19, 78.9%. Louisville did shoot 77.8%, but they only had 9 free throw chances and they nailed 7 of them. That was it. North Carolina out-rebounded Louisville today 49-32. And I'll tell you right now, the players there were some stars today from North Carolina. Luke May, 20 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double for him. Cameron Johnson, 19 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for him today. Garrison Brooks, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Kenny Williams, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. A very impressive day for all 4 of those guys. Now for Louisville, Dwayne Sutton, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Christian Cunningham, 15 points, 9 assists, an almost double-double for him. Jordan Nowa, 11 points, 7 rebounds. That was basically it for him. Now somebody's asked me, is Louisville out of the ACC race? I'm going to say no, but this loss does not help. And Roy Williams said after the game, we're not off the hook yet with Louisville. We played Louisville twice. We split once. Now we got to worry about Duke, and now we got to watch what Louisville does the rest of the way, because nobody's schedule is cupcake the rest of the way, and that's all there is to it. Louisville coach Chris Mack said after the game, we got to shoot better. We got to respond. If we don't respond soon, we're going to be down and out before everybody knows it. Okay, let's move on. Now, let's talk about Kansas, Texas Tech. After everything that has happened with Kansas, it's been a crazy week. Texas Tech, and now Kansas humiliated Texas Tech today 79-63. Texas Tech coach Chris Beard said after the game, their backs were against the wall. We knew we were going to be facing an angry Kansas team, and that's all there was to it. Kansas coach Bill Self said, it is amazing how we can win ball games and how we got the job done. Now, think about this for Kansas. No Marcus Garrett. He suffered a sprained ankle. Udaka Azubuike, he's out for the season with a hand injury. And now Silvio De Sousa is now ineligible for the remainder of this season, all of next season, because his guardian accepted improper benefits, which is part of that $20,000 from a former Adidas employee. That could be coming into play too. But despite all that, Kansas took care of Texas Tech today, 79-63. Dedrick Lawson, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Devon Dotson, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. LaGerald Fick, 13 points, 6 rebounds. Very impressive today. Now, Texas Tech coach Chris Beard said after the game, we could have got the job done. But Kansas coach Bill Self said, I was very happy with the discipline of our team. Our backs were against the wall. We played angry, and we got the job done. And they did all that all right. Now, as far as Texas Tech goes, Jarrett Gover, 10 points from 5 of 17 shooting. Ouch. David Moretti, 14 points. Matt Mooney, 11 points. Tariq Owens, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. He had a double-double today, but it didn't matter. So now, in the Big 12 race, Kansas is still pretty much alive and well. But the question is this the year of the pack? I will address that question after a bit, so please stay tuned for that. I will answer that question. Now, another big game in the Big 12 today that I expected not to be a battle, Iowa State versus Texas. Keep in mind, Texas was coming off of a huge win over Kansas last weekend. Keep that in mind. Iowa State, they looked pretty iffy today. But they barely beat Texas today 65-60. Iowa State coach Steve Prohm after the game said, we led this game for 36 minutes, and we almost gave it away. And they did. Mario Shyok, he only went 3 of 14 from the floor. Cameron Laird, 4 of 7 shooting. And keep in mind, Shyok was 6 of 6 at the free throw line. Texas coach Shaka Smart was fairly pleased with the Texas performance despite the loss. He said, we almost got the job done. But I'll tell you right now, we're running out of time. Now, we'll have to hope and pray that we can win the conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament field. But keep in mind, Texas outscored Iowa State in the paint 28-18. And Curran Roach II went 7 of 7 from the free throw line. That was the kind of intensity that we saw from the Texas Longhorns today against Iowa State. Now for the game. Iowa State did go 23-54 for 42.6%. From three-point land, only 5 of 21 for 38.1%. At the free throw line, Iowa State looked pretty good. 11 of 14 for 78.6%. Now, as far as Texas goes, they only went 22 of 56 for 39.3%. At the three-point line, 6 of 23. They could have done better for only 26.1%. Ouch. Now, Texas only had 11 free throw attempts all game. They nailed 10 of them for 90.9%. But Texas had 13 turnovers, and that kind of hurt them in the end. But let's think about this, too. Taylor Horton-Tucker for Iowa State, 15.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Mario Shayak, 12 points, 4 rebounds. He couldn't get anything to fall for him tonight. Nick Weiler-Babb, 11.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. That was huge. Cameron Lard, 11 points, 3 rebounds. But for Texas, they gave a major effort. Kerwin Roach II, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Matt Coleman, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Jackson Hayes, 10 points, 8 rebounds, an almost double-double for him today. Now here's the question. Is Iowa State still alive in the Big 12 race? Absolutely. They're still absolutely in it. And I'll explain why after a bit. Now the last game I want to talk about. Indiana, Michigan State. This, my friends, was a battle all the way to the end. Indiana upset Michigan today, 79-75 in overtime. And you're thinking, how in the world did Indiana get the job done? Well, Michigan State at the free throw line just flat out struggled. Case in point. For Michigan State today, Nick Ward, he's been shooting 68.5% at the free throw line for the season. He only went 1 of 9 for the game. He only made, and in an overtime, Michigan State only made 33% of their shots. And that was it. And Indiana won despite losing star guard Dwan Morgan due to a shoulder injury in the first half. And keep in mind, this is the same Indiana team that does not have Zach Roberts available because he's out hurt. Indiana won this game because of pride. And they had the heart, and they kept it going. They played despite not having their star player available. Romeo Langford, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Ahami Durham, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Justin Smith, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 block shots. Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you again. Now, Justin Smith, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 block shots. De'Ron Davis, he stepped up off the bench, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Devontae Green, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for him tonight. Very impressive. Indiana got the job done because of who stepped up. Who would be next to step up when Juan Morgan got hurt? Langford and everybody else stepped up to the plate. Now keep in mind, I'll get to the team numbers in a second, but before I do, for Michigan State, Cassius Winston, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. Kenny Goins, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 8 blocks. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate your compliment. I really do. Thank you. All right. Now, Nick Ward, 11.6 rebounds, 2 block shots. That didn't mean much. I'll have to get to that in a second. Xavier Tillman, 13.7 rebounds, 2 blocks. Now, if you look at the team numbers, I want you to pay attention to one thing. At the free throw line. Oh, Tom Izzo was not a very happy man when this game was over. And you'll see why here in a minute. Michigan State, they shot better from the floor. 29-64 for 45.3%. Indiana, 28-72, 38.9%. From three-point land, Indiana, 10-20. They shot 50% from three-point land all night. Michigan State, 9-21 for 42.9%. And this is one of the things that decided this game. At the free throw line, Michigan State, 8-22 for 36.4%. Ouch. Indiana, 13-19 for 68.4%. They're not much better at the free throw line either. Indiana out-rebounded Michigan State tonight 48-40. Michigan State did out-assist Indiana 23-21. And despite 13 turnovers, Indiana won the ball game. Indiana coach Archie Miller said after the game, "I was so happy with our team's performance. This is the kind of intensity we needed. And on losing Juwan Morgan, I know losing Juwan Morgan is not helping us any at all. But we still had the pride, and we had some guys that stepped up to the plate." Michigan State coach Tom Izzo said after the game, "What the heck happened? We lost this game at the free throw line. That's all there was to it. Bottom line, that's how we lost this game tonight. And I was not very happy with our team's performance at the free throw line. I mean, when you only shoot 36.4% at the line, when we have guys who can nail free throws, and I was just disappointed. Nick Ward, he went up to the line. He only went 1 of 9 for the game. How embarrassing. And his dad, look, I work alongside his father, and I am so glad I will not have to see him until Tuesday. Because if I were to see him tomorrow night, or even Monday night, let's just say I would be avoiding him at all cost, because he will not be in a pleasant mood. Now, I'm sorry, boss. I shouldn't be doing that, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to be careful. I'm just trying to choose my wording carefully. But I'll tell you one thing, though. I like my boss anyway. I know his dad. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. What can I say? But it would probably not be fun. All right. Let's move on to the ACC race. I want to talk about 3 conference races here for the next few minutes. I want to focus on the ACC after this Saturday. Virginia, North Carolina, Duke are there in the top 3. Louisville, they went down today to North Carolina. Duke got a big victory today over St. John's 91-61. Virginia got a win over Miami today. However, we still have Syracuse, Virginia Tech that could still possibly jump in and take it away. This is what I mean. Virginia faces Duke next Saturday. And that game is going to be at Virginia. Keep that in mind. North Carolina gets to face NC State. What kind of mood will NC State be? What kind of mood will NC State be in after that 24-point performance today? Louisville, they have Virginia Tech on Monday night. Syracuse faces Florida State on Tuesday. But let me tell you something. Louisville's played North Carolina twice, so we can cross that out. But as far as the ACC race goes, we still have a lot of teams with a shot at it. Now, as far as what I'm going to do is, Virginia, they're going to win the ACC, but I'm going to put a flat line next to them because because Virginia's got to face Duke. And I'm going to do the same thing for Duke because these two teams have a face-off yet. North Carolina, I am going to go ahead and do the exact same thing because North Carolina has got to play Duke twice. So that's huge too. Louisville, I still think they have an outside chance. So I'll give them a shot. Syracuse, stay strong. If they can beat Florida State, if they can, as you know, they beat Florida State, it'll help out their cause. But Syracuse has to face Duke at the Carrier Dome. So I think Syracuse has an outside shot. But I am going to go ahead and flatline them for now because they have to face. I'm not sure if they face North Carolina yet or not. Virginia Tech, after beating NC State today, or after the way NC State beat themselves, Virginia Tech has a shot. And Virginia Tech faces Louisville on Monday. So Louisville and Virginia Tech will have to face off. So I'm going to put a flat line next to both of them. So right now, the ACC is still very, very wide open. That's all there is to it. Virginia, the winner of that game, the winner of the Virginia-Duke game is really going to be in the driver's seat. North Carolina, they got to face Duke twice. Duke and North Carolina have a big, big matchup coming up in the ACC. And Syracuse, they got Florida State on Tuesday night. And Syracuse has to face Duke one more time. And that would be a matchup. And keep in mind, the rematch between Syracuse and Duke will be at the Carrier Dome. That will be huge in Jim Boeheim's backyard. And that's all there is to it. Now let's talk about the Big Ten race for a minute. I want to talk about the Big Ten because Michigan State, Michigan, they went down. And keep in mind, Wisconsin beat Maryland on Friday. And Purdue has a game against Minnesota at 12 noon tomorrow, at 12 noon. Michigan State, Michigan, they're still, I got them winning. I'm going to flatline them because they have to face off one more time. Michigan State, they lost Joshua Langford for the rest of the season. I'm still going to give them a shot despite losing to Indiana. Purdue, they have a real legitimate shot of winning it now. Because right now, Michigan and Michigan State are tied for the lead in the Big Ten race. Carson Edwards has been playing fantastic here in Big Ten play. But let me tell you something. If Purdue wins tomorrow, we have a three-way tie for the lead in the Big Ten race. This is how huge the Minnesota-Purdue game is going to be tomorrow. And that's a fact. And Wisconsin has an outside chance of jumping it in and taking it away. But I am going to go ahead and flatline them because, yes, they upset Michigan, but they've struggled against Michigan State. And you know they got to face Purdue at least one more time before the end of this season. But ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is the Big Ten race is going to get very, very interesting. Michigan has Rutgers on Tuesday. I feel bad for Rutgers because Michigan is not going to be in a good mood. Michigan State, they have Illinois on Tuesday. Michigan State is going to be in a very bad mood. Purdue, they got Minnesota today. They have Minnesota today. Actually, yes, they do have them today because it's 12:40 here on the East Coast of the United States. In Wisconsin, they also have to face Minnesota on Wednesday. So the Big Ten race is not anywhere near decided. That's all there is to it. And I'm going to tell you right now, these four teams have a shot. These are the four teams that could still take the Big Ten regular season title. Michigan, 2 losses. Michigan State, 2 losses. They lost to Indiana. Purdue, if they win tomorrow, we have a 3-way tie for the lead in the Big Ten race. But don't count Wisconsin out either, because there's an outside chance that Wisconsin can still jump in and take it away. Okay, let's move on to the Big 12. Kansas got a big win today over Texas Tech, 79-63. So now Kansas is only sitting a half game back in the Big 12 race. This is the state. This is where we stand right now. Kansas State, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas. Now, I'm going to do the schedule first and let you know the Kansas State-Kansas game is going to be in Manhattan, the home of the Kansas State Wildcats. And that game's on Tuesday night. Baylor faces Texas on Wednesday. And Iowa State has Oklahoma on Monday night. And yes, I'll say it again. The Kansas State game is going to be a road game for Kansas. So now, considering that, I think Kansas State, they have a shot at winning the Big 12 crown. Baylor, same thing. Iowa State, they can still possibly jump in and take it away, but I'm going to flatline them. Kansas, and this is a biggie. This game is an important game. Now, at home, Kansas has been playing, they're 13-0 at home. The problem with Kansas, they're only 1-5 on the road. And they've lost like a lot of games. They lost, before this win today, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games before the Texas Tech contest. And Kansas, they're 1-5 on the road. They don't have, they got no Azubuike. The question is, will Marcus Garrett be available? And the next question will be, what can they do about the Silvio De Sousa incident? What is ineligibility? Kansas has their backs to the wall again. They got to go to if they want to beat Kansas State on the road, they got to go to the wall. If they don't go to the wall and beat Kansas State, they're done. So for right now, I will give them a shot, but I'm going to put a flat line, and if they lose this game, I'm going to cross them out because they're 1-5 on the road. That's not good. And they may be lucky when the new polls come out on Monday. They'll be lucky to be in the top 15. They'll still be in the top 10 after this. But the loss to Texas will have the pollsters talking, and that's a big thing. So now, if anybody has a shot, so everybody's been asking me, Scott, is this the year of the Pac in the Big 12? You know, at first this was a very, very hard question to answer. But the bottom line is a lot of the people in the United States are saying Kansas is done. And I'm going to say this now. If Kansas State beats Kansas on Tuesday night, cross out the Jayhawks. They will be done. Because the Jayhawks on the road have not shown me anything. And now with the Silvio De Sousa being ineligible because of his guardian taking money from a booster, with Marcus Garrett, we don't know if he's going to be a go on Tuesday, and we know he's not going to have it. And Kansas is not going to have Udaka Asabuki available because he's out for the season. So now you got to stop and think. This could be the year of the Pac, folks, because Kansas has not impressed me when they play on the road. And that's basically all I can say. I think it is going to be the year of the Pac in the Big 12. I really do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to hand out some hardware. Now, I'm going to start it out with the Texas Tech-Kansas contest. I got 3 awards I'm going to hand out. For the Texas Tech-Kansas contest, Deidre Clausen, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 2 block shots. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Devon Dotson, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. LaGerald Vick, 13 points, 6 rebounds. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. And all of you gentlemen are repeat award winners. And that's what I like to see here in college basketball. Now, for the Louisville, North Carolina contest, I got 4 awards to hand out. Luke May, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Cameron Johnson, 19 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for him today. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Garrison Brooks, a first-time recipient, 12 points, 4 rebounds. You stepped up today, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Kenny Williams, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Now, for the Texas-Iowa State contest, I got 3 awards I'm going to hand out. Talon Horton-Tucker, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Mario Shyok, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Nick Willard-Babb, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. He stepped up in a big way today. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Cameron Lard, 11 points, 3 rebounds. You know what? I'm going to do it. You, sir, you're going to get yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Tucker and Shyok and Babb have been repeat winners. Cameron Lard, this is your first award, and my congratulations to you. Excuse me. All right. Now let's move on to the Indiana-Michigan State contest. This is a big one. Romeo Langford, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Alahami Durham, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Justin Smith, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 block shots. A double-double for him today. Justin Smith, you just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. De'Ron Davis, coming off the bench, 12.6 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm going to give you a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. You know what? I'm going to hand out one more. Devontae Green, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. All right. And I just want to say congratulations to all my Hardwood Award winners for this week. I know I got some first-timers. My special congratulations to all my first-time recipients of the Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. And now, it is now time for my Game of the Day pick. And ladies and gentlemen, after careful consideration, and after all the hoopla, and after all the games are played, the winner of now here are my nominees for Game of the Day. Indiana, Michigan State, Texas, Iowa State, North Carolina, Louisville. And the winner of the Scott Manning Game of the Day Award goes to Indiana, knocking off Michigan State 79-75 in overtime. Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. You guys have just got the Game of the Day pick. And my congratulations to my Game of the Day recipients. Sorry about Michigan State going down, but they did have trouble at the free throw line. And when all I said about my boss, I know Nick's father pretty well. He's my boss at where I work, okay? He's a good guy, just to let you know. He's a really great guy to be around, just to let you know up front. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts on this Saturday and on the weekend in college basketball. What a weekend it was. We started it out on Friday night. Two court stormings after two big upsets, and we had a major upset in the Big Ten here tonight. What can you say? The Mid-America Conference showed me a lot. Bowling Green and Buffalo showed me a lot of heart in this weekend, here on this weekend. But I'm going to tell you right now, and if there's any other games that could show me a lot of heart, was Iowa knocking off number 5 Michigan. They're going to drop in the polls. Wisconsin, Maryland, they had a classic. They had an instant classic on Friday night. And a lot of these games today were main event worthy. They had March Madness mentality written all over it. NC State, they should be ashamed of themselves after the performance they gave today. And the bottom line is, all it boils down to is very simple. It was a wild game and a wild weekend. And I'm going to tell you right now, after the way that NC State played, my heart goes out to North Carolina because NC State's going to be playing angry. But what about Indiana? Showing some heart and showing the resilience. You know, a lot of the bracketology guys had Indiana as one of the last 4 into the field. And the bottom line is they did not. I wasn't showing anything. Indiana is still on the bubble, no matter what, if you look at their resume. But this upset victory over Michigan State helps them in the long run. And that's all I got to say. Hold on. Okay. All right. I thought I had a sneeze stuck. All right. And the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, on this night and on this weekend, it's crazy. Minnesota plays Purdue. If Purdue wins that game, we have a 3-way tie atop of the Big Ten standings going into this week. Anything can happen. It's the month of February. We're on the back end of the conference schedule, people. March is going to be here before you know it. And March Madness is going to be crazy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to elaborate any further tonight because there's a lot at stake this coming weekend. And that's all I have to say about that here on this night. And I'm running out of voice, and my voice is going away. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign off for the night. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much tonight for being with me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name down, scroll down, look for this pretty face, Click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos that I have done so far. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Good night, everybody, and thank you.